This Week in Richmond is made possible in part by Dignity Memorial, caring for our communities with a network of funeral homes and cemeteries in Virginia and throughout North America. More information about Dignity Memorial's providers is online at dignitymemorial.com. Alpha Natural Resources, an energy company dedicated to respecting the land. Alpha Natural Resources, we power the world through the energy of our people. Haley Buick GMC, the place for a new Verano or Terrain Denali, in Richmond and online at haleybuickgmc.com. Everywhere there are lighting poles, there's one more opportunity to save money. Intelligent Illuminations provides cost-effective wireless lighting solutions for roadway or area outdoor lights. The Virginia Chamber of Commerce, the voice of the Virginia business community, working in legislative, regulatory, and political arenas to promote the free enterprise system. So what do you do? Information about getting involved in advanced technology careers, making everything from clean energy to life-saving medicine, is available at dreamitdoitvirginia.com. Additional support is provided by these sponsors. And by the members of Virginia's public television stations. Thank you.
Welcome to This Week in Richmond, and a very special welcome to Rita McClenny, President and CEO of Virginia Tourism Corporation.
Thank you, David.
Really appreciate your being on. Tourism is so important in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and appreciate your leadership with the Tourism Corporation, and an opportunity today for you to tell our viewers some about what's going on in tourism in the Commonwealth. Hopefully this summer, as it's now ending, they've had an opportunity we all have had an opportunity to take in some of the great tourist attractions in the Commonwealth. But tell us some information, maybe to start with, about the great impact that tourism really has on the Virginia economy.
Well, thank you, David. I'm a fortunate Virginian to have the opportunity to represent our state around the world and to talk about all there is to do and all that tourism means in the Commonwealth of Virginia. As the governor has said, Governor McCullough said that tourism is a vibrant and vital industry in the state of Virginia. And it is a part of Virginia's new economy, in building a diverse economy that offers the opportunities for families to vacation in the state, for businesses that relocate to Virginia. That's one of the big reasons that companies look at the vitality and the quality of life that their workers will have to enjoy. And also, Virginia, as we know, is a wonderful place to live and to raise a family. And yes, the governor just announced the economic impact of tourism in the Commonwealth, and it's a $21.5 billion industry.
Billion.
Billion with a B. And employs over 213,000 Virginians. And the bottom line is 1.4 B with a billion dollars is contributed to our revenue, to the bottom line. So that revenue generated by tourism, by visitors and travelers, is money that goes to what the state has to provide for its citizens. So we are, again, a very important part of economic development and the economic engine of Virginia, and businesses that have located here to take advantage of being in a great place in the Mid-Atlantic. And so many wonderful products, from the shores of the Atlantic to the beautiful mountains of Southwest Virginia, to Southern Virginia bordering, our neighbors to the south. So many wonderful opportunities for outdoor recreation, fishing, golfing, and now we have Northern Virginia, which is home to Dulles Airport, our international port of entry, with over 300 flights per week. So we also are ideally situated to host and invite international travelers to come from all over the world.
We're so glad that you're here in Virginia doing this, because if you were in practically any other state, you'd have to work a whole lot harder to find the good things to say about those states. There are some states that can claim some of what Virginia has, but We're really promoting Virginia in this program and promoting tourism and what's happening throughout Virginia. Now, you mentioned Southwest Virginia, and certainly tourism is important there to that economy as they are wrestling with the changing dynamics of the economy in the southwestern part of the state. And I think we have some pictures that we'll go to in just a moment, and you can tell the viewers what they're seeing about one of those attractions out in Southwest Virginia.
Yes, in August, the governor was there for the announcement and the opening of the birthplace of country music.
Okay, let's
It happened in
go
Virginia.
ahead and get
Yes.
some of those pictures up then. Yes.
It happened in Virginia first. In 1927, A.P. Hill and Sarah Carter went to a contest, basically, of music. That was music from the mountains. And that became sort of the big bang of country music. And Johnny Cash said that that event in 1927 was the most important event for country music in America. And before Nashville, it was Bristol, Virginia, where this music had an emergence. And now there is a 24,000 square foot museum in that honor, which also has galleries, music. It will host live performances. It's a wonderful venue for events, but it's a great place that everyone should make a visit, go to Bristol. There's so many wonderful things to do in Bristol, restaurants, outdoor activities, and also many music festivals. September is Music Heritage Month in Virginia. So there's so much to celebrate, from the Crooked Road Trail through Galax Fiddlers Convention, Bristol Rhythm and Roots, Locken Film Festival. Locken Music Festival was not too long ago. So just all over the state. On the Atlantic, Virginia Beach takes great advantage of their location to host many wonderful music festivals. And really, music is happening all over the Commonwealth. And we know the great venues that host, some of the big acts, whether it's at Wolf Trap or down to, some southern exterior theaters. So music is also a big business and a wonderful opportunity to share part of our heritage with those who visit.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to getting to see that great museum and that place where there will be live performances. It's in Bristol, because I will tell you and our viewers that years ago, I remember taking a shortcut, as we called it then, through what was called Carter's Valley, still called that,
Yeah.
out near Gate City,
Yes.
Carter's Valley, where the Carter family.
Carter family fold.
Yes, that really has been a hotbed of country music, as you said,
Yes.
going way back.
Yes,
Way
and also a wonderful museum. The Carter Family Fold is a beautiful experience. They still have Picking on the Porch, Floyd County Museum, the Floyd Store, where you can go in, and on Friday nights they have music by local bands. Heartwood, which is just right off Interstate 81 there in Abingdon, host many wonderful bands throughout the year. They have a gospel brunch that they host on Sundays. So almost anywhere you go in Virginia, I'll bet you can find some wonderful music.
Yes, I mean, sometimes even way up in Wolf Trap in Northern Virginia, that there be performances there. So like you say, and Virginia Beach has their music festivals too. So music is a big part of Virginia tourism.
It's a big part, and we find that when visitors come, they want to take in a lot of activities. So they may go for one purpose, maybe they're coming for a music festival, but they end up doing a lot of outdoor activities or going antiquing or going, again, shopping. Shopping is always something that's high on every visitor's list. So we kind of look at the visitor profile and know that they're willing to travel about 2 hours from that one iconic destination that they may be visiting, but always looking for things to do for the entire family. And that's why our culinary scene comes into play. October is Wine Month, so we're right on the heels of that, and we'll be celebrating Wine Month. We just had Craft Beer Month in August. So there are all kinds of spirits and food, and oysters have emerged and are back in full force. And just about a month ago, the governor announced a oyster trail, which will trail from northern neck all the way down to the James River, Chesapeake Bay. And oysters are not only good for the waterways, but they certainly are delicious. And in Virginia, we call it 7 regions and 7 flavors.
I think we actually have some of the pictures of,
Oh, good.
of something that took
Yes.
place at an oyster festival, I believe. Or
Well, there are lots of oyster roast and festivals and the seafood festivals. So we work very closely with partners at Department of Community and Housing Development, the Seafood Council, Virginia Marine Resources. So really, it's a great partnership with Virginia Tourism to have developed this trail, and our really wonderful community partners, Dudley Patterson at Oyster and Dog Vineyard. So a lot of key local business owners, as well as people who are really interested in seeing tourism develop. And like, for example, on the Northern Neck, it is going to be a big part of their tourism base. It will be a reason that people will come there and travel, and they have so many wonderful inns. Again, there's great food, and there are wonderful things to do. Whether you want to have a day on the water, to charter a boat, if you want to go out and do your own oyster, hunting and, finding your own, because people love to go throw those crab pots in and, kind of do it themselves. And there are lots of wonderful hatcheries, because there are some technical tours that one can go on to kind of see the process. So a combination of going to a wonderful restaurant like Mirepoix there in Middlesex County. So there's just restaurant after restaurant, winery after winery. We have more than 250 wineries across the Commonwealth in every region of the state, and there are over 80 breweries around Virginia now. And even in Marion, Virginia, they're selling moonshine.
I have heard that. I have heard
So-
that legally.
Legally, of course.
Yes. Yes.
So, the Bowman Distillery outside of Fredericksburg has a tasting room. And of course, George Washington was one of the first when he mashed his own whiskey. And there's a very in high demand and hard to get a bottle of peach brandy, President George Washington's recipe at Mount Vernon. And I know when they first released it, they only had about a batch of 250 bottles, and they were all gone in like 10 minutes. So everyone's looking forward to the next batch. So as you can see, people want fresh, local food. They want to come and have the experience of where the food and drink is produced. And they
Yes,
want to
right.
visit like a local. They want to have that authentic experience that they can go back home and tell their friends and family what they did. Something that no one else could have done other than being in Virginia. And the beautiful thing about tourism is that you could no more export a park ranger from Shenandoah National Park than you could the mountain itself. So tourism is a business that is in Virginia and cannot be exported, and that's a part of the beauty.
Our viewers saw some great pictures of oysters and some being cooked, just looked like a festival somewhere. But go back and mention again, you said something about a oyster trail, because that's new. Does that mean that someone can travel from one place to another, or how does that trail work?
The trail works that it's interconnected points along a community. So it starts in Northern Neck and will go down to the James River, let's say down to Smithfield and other points. But there will be a lot of opportunities to stop at oyster restaurants, wineries, breweries, and again, attractions along the way. So this interconnected trail will give the visitor a chance to know the entirety and sort of the breadth of having the oyster experience in Virginia.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it is a trail that connects several different kinds of locations, not just a restaurant, but also where the oysters, have come out of the water, a location along where they can see wildlife. Maybe they want to go birding, so they're fishing. There are many things that they can do along this trail experience.
Some of us may be hearing this for the first time, so would they go on your tourism website to get more information about this and about other opportunities in
Well, the
Virginia?
Oyster Trail is in development. It'll be online in about a year.
Oh, excellent.
So
by next year it'll be.
Yes, by next year it'll be there for everyone to have that wonderful experience. The governor announced it last month, so won't be long.
Yes.
And people will be able to get out. And we know that trails are a great way for people to have a good experience because of time poverty and not having to make any of the plans. They can just go on our website at virginia.org and click on, for example, Oyster Trail. And then when that is up and running in a year, they'll have a chance to connect the dots and see how to best enjoy that Oyster Trail experience. And we have many trails in Virginia. There are wine trails.
I was going to say, there are other trails they could find right now.
Yes, there are Blues, Brews, and Brews in Nelson County. That's a mouthful. So in Nelson County, you can go from there to Charlottesville and to Greene County, and again, and experience restaurants and wineries and breweries along the way, and also other attractions. Again, you can go apple picking. You can have a picnic lunch. You can enjoy the outdoors. Go up to Wintergreen. Maybe have a round of golf and play a little tennis. So, just to have a great time for the family outdoors. And we know in that area of the state, there's lots of wonderful hiking too. And again, it's just enjoying the fresh air of the outdoors in Virginia.
Now, back before you became the president and CEO of the Virginia Tourism Corporation, you were in charge of the film industry, the film office in Virginia for tourism.
Yes.
And so let's move into telling our viewers some exciting things some that have happened recently and some that may even be occurring right now with regards to Virginia landing some films to be done here.
The state has been quite fortunate and again very successful in recruiting lots of great, wonderful, historic and contemporary film projects. Lincoln is still providing dividends for us. People are going to the Capitol for tours, for the Lincoln tour. There's a Lincoln Segway tour that's still in place, and lots of vendors and restaurants have connected themselves to that experience. Currently, we have Turn that had its first season on AMC last year. They're back now for the second season, so they'll be filming all over Virginia, using many authentic historic homes.
I think viewers will be seeing some of these now as you talk.
Oh, great.
Some of the homes.
So there's so many amazing historic properties that provide a backdrop for this series, and it really just brings those homes to life. Most of the homes are available for visitors to go take a look at and to tour and to have their own experience in appreciating Virginia history and the role that these homes played in history of the Commonwealth. So having that showcase and having that opportunity to be on television for 13 episodes is really a great way. And Turn is a series about George Washington's spies. So here we go again with another Virginia connection to George Washington. And no one knew about these spies because they were really good at their job. They kept it a secret. And even when the writer wrote this book, he goes, we need to delve a little deeper here. So that's when he really discovered that there was this spy ring that no one knew about. So it long before Benedict Arnold. So this is a great way for people, again, to experience Virginia history is through this television show. And we have a link on our website, virginia.org. People can go and take the Turn tour. And,
excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
And go check out some of the locations where they filmed. And right now, filming, as we sit here, is Point of Honor. Point of Honor is a historic home in Lynchburg. And Randall Wallace, who's a Lynchburg resident, is filming in Richmond and Petersburg. And while the authentic real place is in Lynchburg, when people see this ABC show that's being produced for Amazon, they will be able to go again, have a current view on a historic property that they may otherwise not have known that much about. And they'll be filming here for a few weeks in the Richmond-Petersburg area. And Randall Wallace, he attended E.C. Glass High School in Lynchburg, and he wrote the script for Braveheart, and he wrote Secretariat.
Oh.
So he's a very fine Virginian and a very wonderful artist, and we're glad to have him home for this pilot for ABC.
You know, there was some news recently, I'm not sure where I read it, but they had pictures about Petersburg and how Petersburg, with the buildings that are there, the structures are there, how it's become almost a natural place for some of these films.
Oh, yeah. Petersburg has emerged as really a must film place, particularly when it comes to a certain era in history. And it has every century, we can look and capture 4 centuries of history right there in Petersburg. And you can turn the camera 360 degrees and you can get a really authentic, real experience. And filmmakers have said filming in Petersburg is like being on a back lot. And they have now
That's a good line.
Yes.
Yeah.
They now have a wonderful filmography of all of the projects that have been hosted there. And Steven Spielberg, he had a wonderful experience in Petersburg. And in fact, the Dixie Cafe has a Spielberger.
Oh.
So you can go to Petersburg and have a Spielberger.
Yes. Oh,
at the Dixie Cafe.
That is wonderful. Now, with all of this that's happening, from music, from wine, oysters, and films, as you think about upcoming months, our viewers are seeing this program now here, the end of September, right, the beginning of October. What are some places that we would find if we went on virginia.org and we were looking for something this fall?
Yes.
What comes to your mind, or what do you sort of envision our seeing in places that we'd want to go? Central Virginia, South Side, Southwest, Eastern Virginia. What's some of the hot, exciting attractions now?
Wow, it's like limitless.
Oh.
You could go to
And I don't want you to, I'm not asking you to name certain ones because
no.
you wouldn't have enough time to name them all.
No, but fall naturally is a time for leaf peeping. So we have a fall campaign on our website suggesting places where one could go to have the best point of view, to see the fall foliage, and to make some recommendations of how to get there and the best route to take. So that goes, from one end of the state to the other. Certainly, I would recommend the Shenandoah Valley as a time and a wonderful place to visit in the fall. There's the beautiful caverns. Lexington has some award-winning restaurants. And, there's just any place you could decide to go. Graves Mountain. We have so many beautiful mountain vistas and so many places I think that we can go and appreciate the outdoors in this upcoming fall. And again, with October being wine month, you can experience many, many, many wineries. With November being oyster month, it's still a good time to get on the water and go have an oyster.
So it's not too late for oysters.
Not too late for oysters,
yeah.
no. And I would just say, anything you want to experience on a vacation, you can find it in Virginia. Because we talk about that for Virginia's for Lovers, it's our 45th anniversary of the slogan, and we're 45 years young, and we're one of the most recognized brands in the world. We're on the National Walk of Fame for advertising. Forbes named the Virginia's for Lovers slogan as one of the top 10 in the country.
Wow.
So we continue to receive accolades for the Virginia's for Lovers. And what we work on now is associating Virginia's for Lovers with travel. So when someone sees that logo, we want them to know, I need to get on a plane, a train, or in the car and head to Virginia.
Right. Well, we welcome those who come from all parts of the world, but those of us who live here really have an opportunity to enjoy it ourselves.
Oh, yes. And we're one of the rare states that has 2 major theme parks with King's Dominion and Busch Gardens. So people could literally get on their own amusement park trail and go from King's Dominion to Busch Gardens and, have a great time in Williamsburg. And really all over the state, David, our localities are doing well in hosting visitors and coming up with new product. We have the Spearhead Trail in St. Paul's, Virginia. It's a fairly new trail.
Yes.
And you can either bring your own ATV or you can rent one there. They have now some wonderful lodging that people can take advantage of, but these ATV trails are all to go. And it is a wild ride. You can go, and it's like almost 100 miles of terrain from mountainous to muddy to
Wow.
it's something else.
Well, our time is up, but people have time now to get on the trail.
That's right. Go to
And,
virginia.org.
yeah, yes, thank you very much, Rita McClenny, for being on This Week in Richmond.
Thank you, David. It's fun.
This Week in Richmond is made possible in part by Dignity Memorial, caring for our communities with a network of funeral homes and cemeteries in Virginia and throughout North America. More information about Dignity Memorial's providers is online at dignitymemorial.com. Alpha Natural Resources, an energy company dedicated to respecting the land. Alpha Natural Resources, we power the world through the energy of our people. Haley Buick GMC, the place for a new Verano or Terrain Denali, in Richmond and online at haleybuickgmc.com. Everywhere there are lighting poles, there's one more opportunity to save money. Intelligent Illuminations provides cost-effective wireless lighting solutions for roadway or area outdoor lights. The Virginia Chamber of Commerce, the voice of the Virginia business community, working in legislative, regulatory, and political arenas to promote the free enterprise system. So what do you do? Information about getting involved in advanced technology careers, making everything from clean energy to life-saving medicine, is available at dreamitdoitvirginia.com. Additional support is provided by these sponsors. And by the members of Virginia's public television stations. Thank you.